What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this is going to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. This is part 1 of 10, and I will only be showing you the rooms in which I am building in this video. If you would like to see the full thing, or the full tour, check out the channel. There is a full map tour. And, yeah, it's literally just those two rooms. So, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, so there's no proper grid space for something like this, and as you can see why it gets a little bit crazy. I just advise that you have a space in which you are able to go basically left and then forward. That's about as much. This is where all the rooms should line up, unless I'd screwed something up miserably, because as you can see, I don't have the vent connectors. But, yeah, that's kind of what we're going with. So we're going to start with the main room, and we're just going to go one room at a time, and have a lovely, fantastic time building. The materials you need to start off, I'll get also to, like, height stuff in a second here. You need stripped warped hyphae, or I guess the stem would also suffice. Smooth quartz blocks. Lime terracotta. Blue concrete. Dark oak slabs, which we'll kind of use for planks as well. Black stained glass. White concrete. Gray concrete. And we'll get the polished diorite, I guess, just so we can get the floor filled in. So you want to, I love how I don't have a block in the corners. It's just because I literally copy-pasted the layout. You want to place a stripped warped hyphae in the front left-hand corner of your first room, which will literally just be anywhere at this point in time. Side note, from this block, you need 80 blocks available underneath this. I would go a little bit over in case my math is wrong, but it should be 80. Like, that's 80 blocks lower than this, so... Yeah, anyway, you want to then start by bringing that right by 3, all with upward-facing ones. And then going right of that, in the floor a block, you will place 4 polished diorite. Then up a block again, 2 strip warp hyphae. Then in the floor, 4 polished diorite. Up again, 2 strip warp hyphae. These all should be facing up, by the way. In the floor again, 4 polished diorite. And then up above, 4 stripped warp hyphae. So you should have this. This is the front wall of your front room. We'll kind of get to the more nitty-gritty stuff in a second here. You then want to bring the end stripped warped hyphaes on either side back by 5. Ironically, we don't have the next material, so we're just gonna have to suck it up, I guess. I don't really know. If you want, we can fill in the floor. So, you want to bring the polished diorite back a row and just kind of bring it all the way along the front of this wall. Again, making sure you are 1 row lower than the stripped warped hyphae. If you're having problems with the direction of the warped hyphae, because they should all be facing up, that's a lot of placeholders. That's mainly why I have the glass, actually. I could probably figure it out without it, but that just helps a little bit. Anyway, you then want to bring the polished diorite back by 17 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then you'll fill in this entire front area. We'll worry about texturing it later. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. That will probably be the only time you hear this during any of these parts. Not that that matters, just because I'm recording them all kind of just jammed together, and then I'll separate them after, which is another reason for the room layouts, because I don't want to be like, okay, keep these 9 materials for when you see the next part in a week. It just is for logic and reasoning. Anyway, behind the 2 back corners of polished diorite, you'll place a stripped warped hyphae kind of up diagonally back. Again, if you're having problems with the stripped warped hyphae, just basically you can surround the wall right now in just a random block. Don't make it polished diorite, make it like, I don't know, if you want to use black stained glass, it'll be pretty easy to tell that that's not the right material. But then anyway, you'll bring the stripped warped hyphae out by 1. And then those outer blocks can each be brought in by 5. AKA towards the front, not in. Don't know why I said in. Anyway, from the inmost now stripped warped hyphae for real this time, you'll place another stripped warped hyphae, and then a gray concrete. From that gray concrete, you'll place 3 polished diorite in the floor, and then another gray concrete. Just leave the middle alone for now because Huggy is here, and I just don't feel like making Huggy quite yet. Take each of these 4 gray concretes, though, and you want to extend them each up by 5. Just like this. Yippee and fun. So, from this point, it's kind of just smooth quartz on the stripped warped hyphae. And we'll break into the wall for the Huggy, like, arm that goes around the wall, but just on top of each stripped warped hyphae, you're going to place 5 smooth quartz blocks, and this should make it the height of the gray concrete. Yeah, so, I guess just general plans. I don't know how this will be split up, but hopefully you'll get, like, ideally 2 parts a week is where I'm feeling. But it just depends on a lot of things, really, you know? Like, it depends on how much, time I have and all that stuff. Also, we're just gonna, as mentioned, we're going to finish 1 full room at a time, and I will kind of make any side notes for things that you will need to cover up if you want the lighting to be perfect, because obviously, you know how Minecraft, Bedrock at least, is with the lighting and the stairs and walls and all that stuff that let light through. So I'll just kind of point those out when we get to them. For now, they're not really a problem, though. There you go. Now, we'll start on the left side. Again, you want to make sure that your gray concrete pillars are at the back of the wall, just so you kind of have directions figured out. And you want to come to the front left-hand corner, and you want to be on this first smooth quartz block. Break this smooth quartz, the one behind it, up diagonally, back 1, down diagonally, back 1. And then you'll trace this through to the other side of this opening and come to the second block from the top. So this is the top one, and then just count down 1. Break this 1 back, down diagonally back, down diagonally back. And then you'll break onto the back wall, and then from this block you go, I guess, down diagonally right now. On the other side, if you literally just kind of trace across to the other side here, you'll be on the second smooth quartz up, so this one on the other side of the gray, and you'll break just both in line with the back wall. If you trace to the right wall and then count up 1, you'll break this, break 1 in front, up diagonally forward, and then you'll break 2 moving forward. The mildly strange pattern of blocks you just broke, you want to fill them all in with blue concrete. And this is Huggy's arm that just kind of wraps around the room, and you'll get more of these later. There's one with Kissy in a later hallway, and I know there's another Huggy one, like, in, I believe it's this hallway here, this little short one. There's a couple more times we'll be doing this. We're almost at a point to where we can clear inventory, but we're not quite there. So, actually, is there any stripped warped hyphae in these rooms? No, there's not. So you can get rid of your stripped warped hyphae, and you can get out, we'll go yellow concrete. And you want to head to the back wall, because we're going to make Huggy. So, in this bottom row between the gray concrete, you'll go left to right, and you will place 6 blue concrete, and then 2 white. Next row, you'll place a blue, leave a 2 block gap, blue, 2 smooth quartz, and then 2 blue. Sorry, this should be smooth quartz here, not white. I forgot that I made that minor adjustment. This room is smooth quartz. I think all the other ones are white for some reason, but these front rooms are smooth quartz. Anyway, next row, still going left to right, you'll place a white concrete for real this time, 2 blue concrete, white concrete, smooth quartz, and then 3 yellow. Next row, you'll place, again, left to right, blue, 2 smooth quartz, blue, smooth quartz, and then 3 yellow. And the next 2 rows up are just both smooth quartz. We'll feed the void later, because I do realize that looks a little bit questionable, but we'll get there later. It's fine. It's not yet a concern. Before we do anything else, I want to be able to get rid of gray concrete because the next step just kind of requires that we do. So, at the left and the right where you have the gaps, you want to essentially find the center of the gap along the wall, or I guess along the opening part of the wall, and you'll break the middle two polished diorite, and then one more kind of going along the span of the wall, so you'll have 4 blocks broken like that. You'll then break another row in, and you'll fill that in with gray concrete, and you do the same thing on both sides, just having a little bit of a 2x4. I think these are mats or something. I don't actually know what they are, but they're both there. Just like so. You can now get rid of your yellow concrete and your gray concrete, which we will need for the... It's kind of a part of the room, I guess. It's to the area to the left, and actually to the right. You need it for both. But you do want strip mangrove, wood, and yellow terracotta for now. In both entranceways, you want to place a row of what should be 6 yellow terracotta just kind of behind the front portion of the wall, like this. You'll then go back by what should also be 6, and you will end up being 1 block away from the other wall at the top there. And then this back row you can just fill in with a vertical row of strip mangrove that should all be facing up and down. Like so. And now that all of our walls are marked out, I think we do doors, actually, and then we do ceiling. So if you direct your attention to the front wall, you have these 2 pillars, and there's essentially gaps on every single side of them. Well, you have 3 gaps. You will fill in the bottom 3 rows of these gaps with lime terracotta, but they will be pushed outside of the build by a block. I forgot to explain the thing. That's fine, whatever. I'll explain it in a second. You may notice this is bigger than my Playtime Co. I'll explain in a second actually why it doesn't fit properly with it. Then on top of that, you'll actually place 3 rows of black glass directly on the lime terracotta. But yeah, there's a reason that I didn't pair it with the exterior. It wasn't actually my original intention anyway, but it did turn out to be weird. Off the bottom row of black glass, you'll place a row of dark oak slabs, and off the top, you'll place a row of upside down dark oak slabs. There you go. Just really quickly before we continue on. The reason this isn't paired with the exterior is this is the front wall, obviously. And you see how this wall sticks out here? That's just, for one, it's not right. Like, the outside of Playtime Code does not have anything sticking out over here, because it ends up being those kind of, like, curved bits, which you actually do see the inside of, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't line up like at all. Nothing does. And you can see, obviously, the scale. Like, this room isn't massive by any means. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a little large, but it's not, like, overly sized like sometimes my things are. And it's a lot larger than my entrance was. So my Playtime Co. is honestly too small. Even though it was over 200 blocks long, it's still small. Anyway, if you just quickly come outside of the wall, you will place a row of dark oak planks just off of the... I guess the top, bottom, and... Or no, sorry, top, left, and right of each black glass. And you can use dark oak slabs for this. This is not... does not have anything to do with lighting. This just has to do with the fact that you can kind of see the little, like... Or you can see around the glass. So I just wanted to cover it in something. There you go. Now, for the roof, you want to take a row of white concrete, and with the exception of the front wall, you want to go up diagonally in from all of the walls and just kind of trace around with your white concrete. Don't bring it across the front, just kind of leave the front alone. Just like this. Now, what you want to do is you then want to take... You want to find the, essentially, the 3rd yellow terracotta from the back on these kind of pillars here. So this is the back one, 2nd one in front, and the 3rd one would be this one right here. You want to just take this white concrete above it and trace it across. So that will split your roof, not quite in half, but pretty close to it. I think there's a little bit smaller of a space in the back available than there is in the front. Anyway, just start by filling in the back section of this in with white concrete. There are some lights on the ceiling, but we'll worry about those in a second. They're not really important. We also don't have the frog lights, so... And then we'll focus on the rest in a second here. Which is the main front half. Okay, so you want to start by just tracing the white concrete again with another row of white concrete just directly on top of at least like the area around this gap. We're still leaving the front open because we'll just worry about that later. You want to, at the front, or I guess at the kind of back left-hand corner of this top row of white, you want to count to the right by 5. And then you want to place a white concrete on top of that. You'll extend this white concrete all the way to the right, and then you'll just stop once you hit the end again. And if you come back to that first one, you will count right from it by... Hold on, I'm bad at math. 8. So this is the first one just to the right of it. 1, 2, 3. And then you'll place a white concrete on this one and bring it all the way to the right again. This back slant should be 2 blocks taller than the little wall here on the right side, and you'll just place 2 rows on it. Tracing basically perfectly the top row of white concrete that you have here, you want to bring this just forward with black glass until you're in line with the edge of the white concrete. This is where the front wall will finally come into play. Can you guys believe it? So yeah, there's actually a window up here. Also, another thing, the dome that's on the, or what appears to be on the entrance that I put like in the area that this window is, it's that dome there. Like, I didn't think it was at first, and also the colors are different on the inside. Not that that's a huge deal, but like that's so far back for what it looked like. I don't know. It's very interesting though how they actually did make it sort of line up. Other than that, unless that hallway is extended more, but it looks like it actually is like this in the game. I don't know. Anyway, you will fill in the front of this in with not white concrete, but smooth quartz blocks to just kind of cover up any gaps. Make sure you go basically to the black glass's height and no higher, no lower. Just because, yeah, it looks a little bit better that way. There you go. There is still a little bit more work to be done. So you'll have 9 rows of this glass, and you want to just essentially split the middle with a row of white concrete, except this one doesn't actually follow the same pattern. So if you are on the left wall here and you have this middle block, you'll place going out. And so if you're in line with this middle white concrete on the left, you will bring it right with 7 white concrete. You'll then go up 1, right by 6, up 1, and right by 7. If you so choose, well, you should fill in any gaps you have here, but if you so choose, you can actually come back around to the top and just break this row of black glass and replace it with white. It's not really a huge thing, this is just how I had it originally, and it does split it up a little bit better than just kind of having a random beam on the inside, but either way, it does seem fair enough. So, let's keep the left to right train going, because funnies. Come to the left side again, and you want to count to the... I guess on the inside of this wall, you'll count over by 2, so to this row. And I just, at the back here, you'll place an upside down dark oak slab as a marker. From the slab, count right 4, up 1, and place a normal dark oak slab here. From that one, you'll count over by 7, which will actually end up leaving you overhanging by 1. Should it? No, never mind, because we're on the back, so it won't. I lied. Just count over by 7 from the slab. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Up 1 and place a slab here. And then count right by 4 and place an upside down slab there. Each of these you will connect essentially all the way forward. You're bringing it through the white concrete kind of beam that's in the middle here. And it's just, it splits up the windows a little bit more. Not exactly though, and there's reasons for that. Reasons being there aren't glass slabs, and that's about where the list of reasons actually ends. One more thing we have to do here. If you take the... I don't know if that's supposed to be the way that I have it, but if you take this like middle row of 6 here white concrete that you can find, you'll take the middle 2 white concrete and it'll extend them each backwards. I don't have it going forward, and I don't know if that is on purpose or not, but I'm gonna assume that it is because I never make mistakes. That's a lie. I always make mistakes. Anyway, Yeah, that I think is all we can do with this set of materials. Yeah, I think so. Now, yeah, clear inventory. I was gonna suggest that we do the other rooms, but let's just finish this room first and then kind of worry. We'll just go straight left and then straight right after. It's whatever. So you want to get out. Mangrove stairs. Dark oak signs. Blackstone slabs. Oku frog lights. I feel like I keep using those more and more. Chains. Polished deep slate slabs. Spruce planks. Stone stair. And I guess item frame, because there's an item frame on there. So let's make Huggy look a little less soulless. In the gap here, I mean, he's still gonna look horrible, but that's not my problem. In the gap here, in between in the blue concrete that is his mouth, you'll place a couple of mangrove stairs that face into each other, like this. On each white concrete, which are his eyes, you'll place dark oak signs. And also this gap in the mouth will be filled in later. On this yellow concrete thing, you'll take the bottom left yellow concrete and place an upside down black stone slab. Up diagonally right of it, you will place a normal black stone slab, just like this. Now, we're gonna do this next step from the ceiling, and you'll see why. It actually is symmetrical, kind of symmetrical. It's the same, I guess, on both. But if you come to this white concrete, if you're on the, not the furthest left beam of gray concrete, but the inner more left one, which is this one, you'll be highlighting the white concrete above it, and from it you will count forward by 2 and right by 1 and place a chain with an upside down polished deep slate slab underneath. Bring that slab forward diagonally right by 2, right 3, and then back diagonally right by 2. You'll make sure you have a matching chain on the opposite side from the original one, and on either side of this row of 4 slabs you'll place another chain. On both sides. Like that. You will mirror this on the floor, except just with spruce planks. It's a lot simpler. It's not the whole slab thing. Literally like that. Pretty easy. This is the check-in or something? I forgot. On the rightmost of these middle 4 spruce planks, you'll place a stone stair that faces forward with an item frame off the back of it. This is the... Actually, it's a computer screen. It's not a cash register, but... The point is that it's there and it serves a purpose, sort of. For the Oku frog lights, you want to take the back chain, and you want to kind of go forward diagonally out by 1 and break this white concrete on both sides. Which should be here, right? Yeah. You will then break 2 going outward, and then you'll break a whole row in front, just like this. You'll try to not break the wrong block of your ceiling, and then you'll fill in your 3x2 spaces with ochre frog lights. Thought I made one facing a different direction. My mind cannot let that happen, unfortunately. If it does, it's game over. Because I am an absolute inventory management freak, you want to come to the back right-hand corner of this room, and just place an upside down polished deep slate slab here. You will count up from this by 3 to this kind of portion of the wall where you have a blue concrete on the right wall and a smooth quartz on the back wall. And you'll place an upside down blackstone slab with another blackstone block on top. This is the original TV design that you'll see changes by the time there's another TV, which I think is... It's in the room before the claw room, where you get the right hand, I believe. Anyway. Clear your inventory and get out. Polished deep slate walls. Dark oak fence gates. Structure voids, which if you cannot use structure voids, I believe string will work, but I'm not positive. Warp trapdoors. Dark oak trapdoors. Dark oak slabs. Brown terracotta. flower pots, and much to my inventory management dismay, we'll leave it off there. So, if you are still in the back right-hand corner where we were just doing some stuff, you want to place a warp trap door on top of this upside-down polished cheapside slab. Yet again, a design that changes. That's the VHS tape. Count forward from the, I guess, either of those blocks by 2, and either the slab or the trap door, and place a couple of dark oak trap doors open up against the wall there, which are going to be in line with both, technically. From the bottom trapdoor, you'll place a brown terracotta in front, and then from that, you'll go 4 diagonally to the left and place a dark oak slab. Head to the other side of the counter, and you want to place a flower pot to the left of the furthest left spruce plank, which is right there. Now, you want to take the gaps kind of either side of Mr. Huggy here, and you want to place a polished deep slate wall on the left and right, and then a dark oak fence gate in the middle. This is where these structure voids come into play. The innermost polished deep slate wall on both sides, it is the rightmost on both sides, it's not the innermost, you want to place a structure void on top of, and this just makes it so it's a little bit taller, and yeah, it's like that. Would have assumed it was the inside, but apparently not. Anywho, clear your inventory. If you use structure voids, I recommend putting them in your inventory just because they're always nice to have. And get out oak buttons, spruce buttons, and birch buttons. And we probably should wait to do this after we texture the floor, but I'm not texturing the floor yet, so in the front right-hand corner, you just kind of want to place a random array of buttons. I'll actually show you what I have block for block if you really want to see. Although you won't be seeing block for much else. I just feel like it would be funny if I did it for this, so I'm going to do exactly that. Oopsies. Here is exactly what I have button for button, I guess. There are a couple of those you probably will have to replace, because if you want to texture the floor in that corner, then I guess you could technically go between. Oh wait, I'm missing a button. You could technically go in between, but that's, I think, a little bit weird. Anywho. That's pretty much all for this room, other than the floor texturing, but as mentioned, we're going to do the floor texturing after we've done basically the entirety of what I would classify as this room, which includes the little areas to the left and right. So, to actually start those, you want to clear your inventory and get out gray concrete, smooth quartz blocks, blue concrete, yellow concrete, red concrete, white concrete, cyan concrete, dark oak doors, and black stained glass. Oh, perfect. That actually almost finishes the left room, other than the floor, which I'm realizing is kind of important. But anyway, if you head into the area to the left, you want to count... Essentially, you want to be behind the stripped mangrove by a block. And on this stripped warped hyphae, you want to place going left... Don't tell me. 13 gray concrete. Just like that. You will then go forward with 3, leave a 2-block gap, which will end up being polished diorite in the floor, and then from that point, you will place 9 gray concrete moving forward. And then this front one you can connect all the way right, and it should connect perfectly to that front corner. That's another part that doesn't actually line up, because this wouldn't be part of that base area. This would probably be pushed back. But maybe that was just me being stupid. I actually don't know. Let's start with the poster, because that's literally 90% of what we have in our inventory right now. If you're looking at the back wall of this room, you will head to the right side, and going left, you'll place 4 smooth quartz blocks, a red concrete, white concrete, and then a red concrete. On top of either of the reds, you will place 2 cyan concrete, and then a yellow. And on top of the white, you will place a red, a cyan, and a yellow. all of your walls will then be filled up to the point of the top of the other room's walls with smooth quartz blocks. Where the doorway is, you'll leave the bottom 3 blocks open, which I guess is the bottom 2 rows of smooth quartz, and then you'll connect the top 3 together. If that helps in any way. Yeah, also just for, I guess, reference, I'm probably not doing tutorials on the chapters 2 and 3, definitely not 3 of Poppy Playtime, because that's just long. This is probably going to be about where my limit goes for length. Except for one other thing, which will probably be longer than it, that I do have planned. But I can't tell you what that is, because I would spoil the surprise. Anyway. Just like this. Now, you can get rid of your yellow concrete, red concrete, white concrete, and cyan concrete, and get out polished diorite, item frames, a creeper head, and mangrove stairs. First thing I'm going to try to do is just fill in your floor in here with polished diorite, because we're really lacking one of those. And also when you do this, make sure you just go into the doorway by a block, so we can place the doors, because we need doors. Doors are a vital piece of furniture, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how much I can push my limit of recording for a day. Like, I'm at about 40 minutes right now, I think, 35, and I'm starting to feel it, but, like, my hope is I can go, like, 2 hours and just get pretty much, like, all of this area here just done. The more, the better. Anyway, in the doorway, you'll place a couple of dark oak doors, except you will place them from the opposite side, so they're kind of pushed in a little bit. This is just because the other side of the wall is double layered for literally only the intention of the Huggy hand not being visible. Anyway, on top of the doors, you'll place black stained glass. If you're looking at the door, you'll place an item frame to the left of the top half of the door itself and place a creeper head in that. That's a little keypad that you type in the colors for, I think? It's a color keypad or something. Anyway. We're going to go around the room in clockwise, and we're going to kind of break the Huggy hand, or break the Huggy arm. So if you look at the front wall, you already have blue concrete lined up here on the side wall, so you'll break another blue concrete kind of in line with it. If you're looking at this hole, you will go up diagonally to the right by 2 with breaking. Right 1. Down diagonally, right 1. Right 1. Up diagonally, right 2. Right 1, up diagonally, right 1, right 2, and then onto the side wall, and then if you're looking at this one again, you'll go down diagonally, right 1, down diagonally, right 1, up diagonally, right 2, right 1, down diagonally, right 1, up diagonally, right 1, down diagonally, right 1, and then you'll go into the back wall, and again, if you're looking at this block, you'll go up diagonally, right 1, down diagonally, right 1, down diagonally, right 1, and then you'll kind of come to this row of yellow on the top of the Poppy poster, and you'll break the block right of the yellow, and then break one up diagonally, right 1, and then down diagonally, right 1. Okay, then you'll fill in all of that with blue concrete. Those are certainly the parts where this gets a little bit more annoying than most of the other things. Because it's just diagonals. Although the dome won't be any better, I guess, if that makes you guys feel any better about this endeavor. Anywho, come to the front right-hand corner, and if you're on this polished diorite, you'll count back by 3. And place a mangrove stair facing back. Left of it, place a stair facing... What? Left. Then going back towards the front, you'll place 3 facing left. Going across the back, or I guess the front wall, place 3 facing back. Then go towards the back with 3 facing right. Go across with 2 facing back. I guess 3 facing back, why not? Then go back forward with 3 facing left. Across the back, or I guess across the front wall here, Jesus, with 3 facing forward. Then come back out of the wall with 3 facing right, and then place 1 up against the wall here facing backward. That's basically what you're creating. If those instructions went in one ear and out the other, congratulations. This is what you should have anyway. We're gonna do the old funny magic trick here, and we're not actually gonna do any magic. We're just gonna do the ceiling and clear inventory, and then we're gonna figure out the other room later. AKA just after this one. So clear your inventory and get out red nether brick and ochre frog lights. Crazy, I know. 1 block up from the walls, you're filling in your ceiling with red nether brick. Just as a starter. Just like this. If you don't have night vision, you'll notice things get a little bit dark here. You won't really need night vision until another room, because the room on the other side over there is dark as frick. But anyway, if you're in the back right-hand corner, you'll count forward diagonally left by 2 and break this red nether brick, and then 2 more forward. Break a row to the left, and then leave a 4-block gap moving left from that, and on the 5th row, you'll break 2 more rows. So that should be symmetrical. Minus the fact that they're missing from the front. So it's not symmetrical in 4 ways, it's just symmetrical in half this way. Anyway, you'll fill it in with ochre frog lights. And ironically, I feel like that'll make the room brighter. Well, it's still dark over here, but oh well. This is, I think, a good time to actually remind everybody that night vision is a fun little tool to have. So I'm going to put it on me because, yeah. Anyway, let's head to the right side here, because, as mentioned, we're going to just kind of do room at a time, and this is still technically all part of the front room, in my opinion. If you have an empty hotbar, get out. Gray concrete, smooth quartz blocks, cobbled deep slate slabs, if I can hit not caps lock, stone, yellow terracotta, stripped mangrove wood, polished diorite, because I don't want to forget that, dark oak doors, and black stained glass. It's an unfortunate set of events, oh well. So from the stripped mangrove and the yellow terracotta each respectively, you want to bring them right with 13 gray concrete each. You then bring them each in actually with their respective original materials. So strip mangrove at the back, yellow terracotta at the front. It's kind of a neat little touch. You'll then, anyway, bring them each right with an additional gray concrete and bring that gray concrete in by 1. You should know the drill. We'll start in with the floor this time. So I'll fill in the floor with polished diorite. We're actually not going to do the walls quite yet because there's a couple things I want to add on the back wall at least. Or front wall, I mean. Back wall we can't technically do yet. The thing that we need, which is the poster. So at the side wall, you want to bring each of these, kind of the strip mangrove and the yellow terracotta, each up by 5. Just like that. Then, I guess we can place the dark oak doors in the doorways with the black glass on top. This time it will actually be on the, like, same side as you. You don't have to go around to the other side. And then we can now focus on the front wall before we start to fill things in. So if you go... Let's go left to right on this, just to get rid of any confusion with that corner there. You want to go left to right, and on the front here, you'll place a smooth quartz block, 2 cobbled deep slate slabs, 2 smooth quartz, 2 cobbled deep slate slabs, 2 smooth quartz, 2 cobbled deep slate slabs, and it will technically end in 1 smooth quartz, but you can place a second one behind that yellow terracotta there. You'll then bring each smooth quartz up by 4, and then I would connect them together at the top row and only the top row. Place upside down cobbled deep slate slabs below the top row of smooth quartz, and then set in a block from each of these, you'll place stone. I think these are windows, but I also don't know where they would be on the build as far as windows. Because there's no windows. Well, I guess these could be the ones on the curved bits, right? I guess so, but then why would they be there? Because that's where the little cyan thing would be. I don't frickin' know. Anyway, just fill in the rest of your walls with smooth quartz and stop thinking about it, because if I keep thinking about it, my brain's gonna explode. I guess I'll fill in behind the strip mangrove and yellow terracotta. Not that it matters, but it'll be funny if I do. Okay, anyway. Oh, that looks weird. Because it's not the blue concrete. I don't know why that makes it so different. Anyway. Do you want to clear your inventory? Yeah, clear your inventory, I guess. And get out light blue concrete. Red terracotta. Yellow terracotta, it is unfortunately back. Moss blocks. Blue concrete. Polished basalt, and we'll go ochre frog lights. And actually, also you need black carpet. Because I believe this is glass on the floor. So, on the back wall, first off, you want to... If you're on the smooth quartz up against the strip mangrove here on the back wall, you will count from this block left by 4. So this is the first block here, 2, 3, 4. And you will break 4 smooth quartz going up here. And then you'll break 2 rows left. We're just going to go left to right on each row. You'll place on this bottom row 2 light blue concrete and then a red terracotta. Next row is a light blue concrete, yellow terracotta, red terracotta. Next row is a moss block and then 2 red terracotta. And then the top row is a moss block and 2 light blue concrete. I believe this is a brawn poster. The little dino guy, if I remember correctly, something like that. Anyway, we're gonna do the huggy hands, except we're actually gonna start from the back wall this time, because I said so. Come to the top left-hand smooth quartz and count right by 1 and break this one. Then break 1 down diagonally right. Right 1. Down diagonally right 1. And then you'll trace straight through this poster to the other side and break this one. Right 1. Down diagonally right 1. Right 1. Then on the side wall, you'll actually just break each one kind of around the black glass here. Just like that. And then on the front wall, you'll keep it in line with just basically the second smooth quartz up. You'll break this one. Then on the other side of the windows, you'll break. And then I guess if you're looking at it, you'll break down diagonally right 1. And then you'll also break the 2 kind of in between these last 2 windows. And you'll fill all of this in with blue concrete. I'll show you just afterwards a little bit of a confirmation as to what you have. It's this. Whoa. Huggy has some seriously long arms. It's a little bit of a problem if you ask me. Anyway, for the black carpet on the floor, if you are just kind of, I guess, head to the front wall or come up against the front wall. And if you are behind this yellow terracotta here at the far left, you will count right by 2 and place a black carpet here. Place 1 going back. Then place 1 right. Then count right by 2 and forward 1 and place a black carpet here. 1 back diagonally right. Count back 1 and right 2 and place a black here. 1 forward diagonally right. Another black in front of that. And then this one can be brought left and right by 1 each. And then from this furthest right one, you'll place 1 back diagonally right. Fill in your ceiling with sideways facing polished basalt a block above the walls. It will be facing left to right, just kind of like this. So you're basically placing it, I guess, along the length of the hallway. Good 27 minutes out of these rooms. Or at least since I made that one oopsie, which I already forgot what I did, actually. That's really funny. Anyway, don't lock yourself out like I do every time. From, I guess, either side, you want to leave you want to leave 3 rows of polished basalt, and then you'll break the next 2 full rows, except for the front and backmost blocks. So you're breaking 2x4s like this, and filling them in with ochre froglights. Just like that. Kill your inventory and get out red concrete, light blue concrete, and yellow terracotta. This will change, I think, to cyan concrete later, by the way. I'm not really sure why, but anyway. You want to just kind of texture your floor with these 3 blocks, and I would honestly just go around and just, like, break random blocks and place each concrete or whatever in those blocks. I don't really have any specific method to this. It's kind of just don't break too many, but don't break too few either. You want like a good amount that seems reasonable. I also feel like I tend to place more in the hallway. Try to not do that. Like, you want a consistent amount. And it's also fine if they are next to each other, if they connect. Sometimes it's a little bit better, actually, in certain spots. But it just depends. You'll be doing this a lot, by the way, so don't get bored of it, because it will in fact come back for almost all of the build. You get it all the way up into the make a friend room, which is the room just before the Huggy chest. So you really get it a lot. But anyway, really, I didn't try very hard here. I feel like I need some more light blue in the middle. See what I'm saying? Like, there's just not enough light blue kind of around here. Just something like this. You can add and remove some as you feel fit, but that's pretty much all from the texturing. Anyway, I always favorite the left side, and I don't know why, so we're not gonna change that, and we're gonna head to the left room first and start with this one. So, yeah, this is going to be the end of this part of the tutorial. As you can tell, you're going to get the same outro each time, except for part 10 gets a different one. But, yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, the next part will hopefully be soon. I just don't want to throw them all at you, like, in the span of a week or two. So, they'll be a little bit spread out, but not too much. Anyway, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.